Hi everyone, Mike the MC, bringing another self-care video. Living in a polarized world. Wow, I think this is a very honest theme to bring up for today's to talk, because I think so many things can be talked about as far as the different discussion topics that and debates that people go into today, relationships, politics, religion, the different technologies, work and economy, right? All these different things that people could think about that are so, you could say, like heated arguments and debates and topics. And I think it's good to talk about this because how many of us want to consider the idea that being polarized may be mostly negative? And then at a point, can you say, well, at least I'm aware of the problems and the issues. At least we are invested with the things that we are arguing about. And so I think that is one of the positives you could take from being so aware of being knowing all these things that people are arguing about. But living in a polarized world, I would argue, if you're able to move forward and not get triggered by all the traps, and you're able to talk and have these conversations with people to the point where, okay, we can maybe come to a consensus, I think that is a very positive way to grow. Now, people will say, oh, you got to win every argument, you got to destroy your opponents. Okay. Well, if you want to go in that direction, fine. I hope you win, and you win well, right? Know your information, know how to speak well. But I think with polarization, the negative effects that I see that I don't appreciate are the ones where people are isolated and destroyed. And I think that is something that we take for granted, where we think, okay, we won the argument. Okay, no one wins because everyone's destroyed. And you think, oh, but wasn't it right to prove a point, to prove it the correct way? One saint, from the Catholic perspective, this is why I'm bringing this up, would argue, okay, it's always better more than to win the argument by surpassing that by teaching your listener the reasons of their errors and then guiding them back to the truth. So the idea here is, right, you're trying to teach and work with other people. You're not trying to just beat them and destroy them. I mean, the whole idea is to work and talk with other people so that way you can have that idea of shared moments with each other, and you think, okay, how is it that you are right that I'm wrong? Prove your point, right? And you think, okay, I can share with you several different reasons why I'm right. But at the same time, if I'm seeking just to be right, just to win, okay, then what's the point of debate? If I'm just going to then just want to have victory after arguing with you, there's no really an honor of doing it per se, other than just saying, oh, okay, I just want to debate against somebody, but whoop-de-doo. So the thing here is to talk with someone, to understand and listen to the situation, right? How many of us have actually asked the person why it is that they were destroyed so badly from another person? Have any of us even asked why somebody went through so many different name changes or this or that kind of thing? The thing is, before you destroy, it's always good to investigate. And I think that is something of a skill that we can use in our polarizing world today. Are we willing and able to investigate the situation rather than just taking it as at face value and neglecting everything else that supported what was behind that person's viewpoint, and looking at all the effects and circumstances that they had to endure to finally be free, maybe their potential captors that they were under for so many years. You never know. The thing is, the freedom to work with other people is a blessing. And so if you're not polarizing, seek to be forgiving and to seek to be a teacher and an educator in this sense. And in this regard, it's so funny because I never thought I'd like to be a teacher in my family because my family's so full of teachers. But the thing is, that's one part about being a teacher that I like. The idea that we can actually have a conversation and talk and listen, and to consider these ideas of right and wrong, maybe consider what is the right way to do one thing versus another, but then also just understanding the person's viewpoint, understanding the backstory of the people that you work with, your students, your opponent, the person you're arguing with, your rival. And then maybe even finding ways in your own backstory to say, oh wow, I guess I was influenced by these many things. Maybe I was polarized to the point where I just destroyed every potential thing that could have been good for me, and that's not right, because I was just so triggered by all these different things that wanted me to react. So maybe if I'm not going to be triggered, let me be patient and let me love, let me find a way to break free from the polarization by practicing other virtues that can help myself be free and be happy, and to let the fires set aside, to be free, and to always remember that we can move forward with love. And so I actually encourage and challenge you, next time you have a debate with somebody, try to understand their backstory just a little bit. That way it'll help you become an investigator more so than the interrogator. And that way you can find the balance and not be so polarizing to somebody who truly may want to listen to some good reason that you may have something for them. And that way you don't lose them, and that way you can build rapport and establish that talking relationship with the other person. All right, everyone. Hope this one finds you well today. Take care. Have a good one.